Hello, we are at one of our favorite spots in Fort Vancouver, Washington, and this is tree number 179. He's had a haircut lately, but we used to come down here all the time when we were dating and hang out, and the tree had like this little label on it, a metal label that said tree 179. So we refer to it lovingly as let's go visit 179. So that's where we're at today, and there's an airport behind us, Portland International Airport, so if you hear planes flying over, we're going to keep it real. I'm not going to edit it out. So, Gil, what are you doing way back there?
I'm angry.
Uh-oh. Do you want to talk about it?
No. I was angry and didn't want to talk about it.
Are you over it yet?
Getting there.
Yeah, we've talked about it a little bit.
Yeah, took a little bit. I needed my space.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That doesn't happen very often, but so
Yeah.
what was going on?
I mean,
Wanna just share a little bit about the situation?
It was a situation. Yeah. I mean, like the Jamaicans say, no problem, man. But this was not a no problem, man. This is a situation. And I was upset. I mean, it took us a little bit of time to finally get it unpacked, but yeah, I was angry.
You were pissed.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like being there.
So what is anger? I know you've always said, and I've learned that anger is a secondary emotion, and a lot of times we use anger because something else is really going on.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I know. I think that's right. I mean, I wasn't necessarily angry at you. You know, you were kind of involved with it, but you weren't the problem.
good. I'm glad to hear that. So what was below the anger?
Not feeling heard. Not necessarily by you, but in the circumstances, I didn't feel heard. I felt ignored. I literally felt overlooked. And, you know, circumstances had been a long day, and I was hungry, and I was tired, and I wasn't necessarily lonely because I was in a group of people, but I felt totally alone. So those were the factors of a perfect storm for getting pissed off.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and we were talking about this earlier about, as you're sitting in the counselor's chair, that anger seems to be coming up
a lot.
a lot. You're talking to people a lot about anger. So.
Yeah, it's fascinating to me because sometimes the anger gets blown out of proportion, and people are people and they make their choices, but sometimes the emotion gets away from them, and then it turns into they're hurt, and then they get resentful, and then they get furious, and then the next thing they know is that they're just shutting down and getting more bitter, or they do the opposite and they blow up and have this fit of rage. And then because of the rage, it's kind of what I refer to as the rage anger shrapnel begins to fly, and everybody anywhere in the vicinity is in the blast zone. And then everybody starts getting hurt. So it's the key of knowing how to stop that fuse from burning so quickly.
So what do you tell your clients? How do you help them work through that?
To go into a small room and scream to the top.
Padded? Is it a padded room?
Go to a padded room, or go jump in the lake or something like that. I actually have a dear friend of mine who shared a chart with me that shows the rage or the bitterness on one side, and it's kind of this chain reaction, but that's not where it starts. The anger starts much deeper, and that is not the first emotion that gets shown, because the first emotion that gets shown is anger. But behind the anger could be, like I had, lonely, ignored, not heard. Not that I felt rejected, but I felt totally overlooked. And nobody was pursuing me. Nobody asked. No, I didn't feel like anybody cared. And at that point in time, I just wanted to get out of there, because I was getting hotter the longer I stood there. And of course, having to know myself, if you're hungry, you're tired, you're lonely, it can lead to an emotional response that you may not be able to stop unless you know your emotions well enough to remove yourself.
Yeah, yeah. I think part of it too is realizing in that moment of anger, which how many of us actually stop and go, how am I feeling right now? I mean,
No, no, no.
But if it's a pattern and it's consistent, maybe this is a good reminder to do that. Say, okay, stop for a minute. What's really going on?
Yeah.
Because usually there's always something underneath the surface,
Right.
Or so, and that's something that, especially in a relationship, and correct me if I'm wrong, counselor, but we always are very proactive. Like, okay, so when this happens again, because if,
It will
life
happen
happens,
again. Yeah.
like, let's say I'm getting angry, and I can tell you, Gil, in this moment when I'm getting angry, this is what you can say to me to kind of help bring me down off the ledge. Like, and I could say, when I'm angry in the middle of it, you can say to me, okay, so what's going on at a deeper level? And that's a reminder to me to stop and say, I'm not feeling respected right now. I'm not feeling heard. And the pinky's up, which means this is our sign for those of you that have worked with us.
This is a review if you've not worked with us before. This is a pattern we've learned, but we want to pass on to you because I want to come back to this point. The pinky means I have something I want to share, but I want you to finish first.
Yeah.
If the index finger goes up, that means I need to share something with you.
Yeah.
I need to share it now because you're not even close to what's going on.
Right.
And then if you see any other finger go up, don't pay attention. You can imagine what that means. So the reason I put the pinky up is, as you were saying, a code word or something like that. What I'm teaching my clients is to say, in that moment, it's not about the peanut butter.
What does that mean?
It's not about the peanut butter that's stuck to the top of your mouth. It's the emotion that you need to swallow and then digest.
Well, that's deep. Okay, break that down.
What that means is that you've got the peanut butter stuck to the top of your mouth, and that's what you're arguing about because it's right there.
Yeah.
But it's not up here at the top of your mouth. It's actually what's going on in your gut. It's the disgust, it's the frustration, it's the loneliness, it's the abandonment, it's the resentment, it's the rejection, it's that I feel humiliated. Go to the point of where you've got to go, because that's what you've got to swallow. Is my own emotion, and that can be very difficult because then you have to become vulnerable to really say what's eating you.
Right.
And if you don't feel safe, then you get angry.
That's a vicious circle.
That's how I protect myself.
Yeah,
is that I'm just gonna go off.
Yeah.
Everybody leave me alone. But then somebody's got to be brave enough to kind of go, what's really going on? It's not about the peanut butter, is it?
Yeah. But if you can talk about that when you're not angry, to say, okay, when this happens, this is what we're going to agree because we want to support each other on this, that this is what I need you to say. Yeah.
Because it's really hard to talk with peanut butter in your mouth. I mean, really, it's like, and to be able to talk about the emotion, even though it's in the roof of your mouth, it is much more difficult. So the other thing that I share with people and that we talk with people is tap the brakes, slow yourself down. Don't rush ahead with the emotion, because the emotion will lead you into a place of either getting more bitter, more inward focused, and more frustrated, or the opposite will happen. You'll blow up and create what I call anger shrapnel.
Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want that.
Yeah.
Okay, are you about done? Because it's starting to rain.
Yeah, we're in the Northwest.
And I'm shaking because I'm cold, so I'm starting this video. So
for goodness sake, it's the end of
but
September.
It's starting to rain,
Yeah.
so I think we're gonna
sign off. We're gonna sign off. So next time, what do you want to do?
Well, the idea is think about your anger, talk about your anger.
Yeah.
And maybe you need to get some professional help, see a counselor to kind of flush that out. But start here.
Yeah.
Have an open conversation with each other to see if it can help.
And next time we talk to you, because it is fall, we're going to bring an umbrella because we're getting rained on.
No, we can't bring an umbrella. That's illegal in the Northwest.
Well, we live in the Northwest. That's why it's green here. So, hey, remember, if you ain't got the marriage,
you ain't got nothing.
Love you all.
Take care.
Take care.
All right, bye-bye.
I'm angry.
I'm wet.
Bye, guys.